Hey everybody. Hey, it's Denise here from luckybitch.com and welcome to this very special webinar today. Hey everybody. Oh wow, we're from all over the place, from Brisbane, Boston, Montreal, South Carolina, Adelaide, Michigan, Canada. Oh my God. We are such a multinational, international Lucky Bee community. I am coming at you live from Newcastle, Australia. Yay! And for those of you who know me very well and who've been on my webinars before, you know that anything goes here. You can ask me absolutely anything. I've got my wonderful coordinator, Melissa, here. She is going to moderate the questions. So if you do have questions, make sure that you type them out and you be as detailed as you want to be, and she's going to send them over to me. Now, I'm going to switch over to slides in just a bit. We're going to go for about half an hour with the mindset shifts that we want to go through, and then I'll come back on and we can answer as many questions as you like. But I want to tell you something funny, because if you know me, you know I'm very transparent and I'm not polished and I'm absolutely not perfect. So I had a 7 a.m. interview this morning and I set my alarm for 6:30, but I was really tired. We had a really long night and I got up and I went, I've got 10 minutes. I can choose hair or makeup. I cannot choose both. So I have got fake hair on today. And those of you who have seen, I have this fake one, but I've also got another fake one on today. So this is all fake hair today. So yeah, just to keep it real, I had to choose between hair and makeup. So I chose a bit of makeup and I just chose to whack on some fake hair. So hey everybody, it's really great to see where everyone's coming from. Thank you. And see, I could have just not said anything and just pretended that I wake up with perfect hair, but I absolutely do not. And that's going to be the main theme of today, especially when we're talking about mindset shifts when it comes to creating passive income or going to the next level in your business. One of the biggest things that's probably holding you back is the feeling that you need to be perfect. And maybe you think you have to lose weight or you have to change everything about yourself. And it's absolutely not true. So yes, thanks everyone for loving on my fake hair. It is super handy, by the way, if you are doing interviews all the time and you don't have time to do your hair. Chuck on. I'll wait just a couple more minutes before I head over to the slides. But as I said before, absolutely ask your questions. So Kira says we would never have known. Yeah, but I had to tell you, I'm that kind of person. I have to be like, hey, look at this. It's totally fake. So funny. And I've got chipped nail polish today as well. So just keeping it real. Later on this week, I'm refilming the bootcamp videos on Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow I've got to go get my nails done and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know me, if you're new to the Lucky Bee world, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the friendliest community of women. It really is something like a mafia. You join, it's a mindset community where we all come together to absolutely support each other through creating first class. If you've never heard me mention that before, creating a first-class life is creating something that works for you, that is your version of a first-class life, whether that means living in a mansion or living in one of those amazing tiny houses. It's about learning choice and discernment so you can make decisions because you deeply and completely love and accept yourself, and you're learning to receive money. That's the biggest thing that we do in the community. So someone's saying, I'm off to buy some fake hair. Just had a review for my book, and even though the guy loved it, he made a comment on the punctuation. Guess which bit I'm focusing on? Caitlin, you are going to love some of my slides today. I'll show you some of my 1-star reviews. Very, very cool. Cool. So welcome to all the new people. Hi, Viri, first time following. Great to have you here. It's all real here. It's all raw. As I said, it looks glamorous. The other thing you might be wondering why I've got an elastic band, that's something that I work on as well. It's a mindset pattern interrupter for me. Whenever I have negative thoughts, shut that shit down. That's what I use that for. Okay, brilliant. So I'm just going to take a quick sip of water and then I'm going to head over to the slides and we're going to get started. Storyville says, I wear my wigs and I love it. Yes. Oh, Redcliffe in Brisbane. I've been there before, Mel. Welcome. So I love that we're from all over the world here. Oh, Manchester, Karen, thank you for staying up late to come to this live webinar. I know it's midnight in Manchester. My husband's actually from Manchester, and my mother-in-law is here at the moment, and she's from that area as well. So welcome. I love all the people with the fake hair. Okay, Petra, I'm new, just finished your book and watched your scopes. Awesome. Great. You need one of those bands. It's just a hairband. Okay, great. So it's a bit clunky while I change over to the slides. It takes just a couple of seconds, but I'm still going to be here, and I'll come back. You can see my face again in about half an hour. I will be checking out the questions. So Melissa is going to go through and she's going to pull out any specific questions that you have. Some I'll try and answer as we go. Otherwise, I might leave some of them till the end. So yeah, where did I get the hair from? I found it from a bridal store. I went in and I just said, I need some fake hair. Yes, so this whole webinar could just be about fake hair. But yes, I happen to be unpacking to go to Cuba tomorrow in Berlin. Awesome, Prita. Thank you for joining. Okay, gorgeous ladies. I am going to change over to my slides now, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so we're going to do this. And I'm going to and play. Awesome. Okay, so it just takes a second for the sound to come over, but what we're talking about today is really crucial mindset shifts for creating passive income. Now, when you first learn about passive income, when you start to really look at your business and you want to expand your income, you know what? This is so tricky because we're smart women, right? If you've had a job, you know how to put together a project plan and you know how to follow it. If you have done, we all know how to create stuff. And there are lots of people teaching how to create passive income courses, and you can figure that stuff out. But if you don't have the mindset stuff, that is always going to derail you. So I just want to ask you a question, and you can just type in the answer here. What percentage of your income at the moment is coming from passive income sources? On a percentage basis. So is it 0% up to 100%? I'd love to see that. Okay, cool, Veronica. I'm an introvert entrepreneur as well. So that's awesome that your business is about helping introverts thrive. Okay, so type in your percentage of passive income, and I'll read those out in a second, because this is really going to be cool leveraged income for you, creating a lot more freedom and flexibility. So it's always good to know where you're starting from. Okay, so lots of people saying 0, 5%, 1%, 0. Okay, oh my God, you guys are in the exact right place. This is amazing. Do rentals count? Yes. Someone's saying 90%. That's just come too quickly. I mean, for 20%. Oh, this is amazing. You guys are in exactly the right place right now for us to move on from this. So, and to, imagine if next year, if all you did was take it from 0 to 20%. I mean, you could do a lot more than that, but if that's all that happened, what would change in your life? Just be able to receive more income. You have to see maybe why you've created resistance around it or had procrastination around it. And this is all about awareness. Once you understand what's holding you back, you can actually do something about it. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Denise Duffield-Thomas. This is a picture I took just the other day of my hubby Mark and my little baby Willow. And for those of you who don't know much about me, I'll just do the quick version. The author of 2 books, one called Lucky Bitch and one called Get Rich Lucky Bitch, which I think a lot of you have probably read. I run luckybitch.com, which is a community but also a resource center for female entrepreneurs who want to release money blocks and create a first-class life. Mama of 1, as I said, and I'm really a mindset coach. I help people with their money mindset most of all. And I am the creator of the Lucky Bitch Money Boot Camp. So the other thing, if you haven't read my books, is really my story started a couple of years ago. I've always been interested in personal development, but always struggled with the money side of it, like a lot of you guys do. And like we all do, because we're women, right? We do struggle with the money side of it and receiving. But I decided to change my life. And I wrote about it in my first book, Lucky Bitch, where I won an all expenses paid for around hotels. And that I wrote about it, how I manifested that, how I really created that. And you know what? I started working with life coaching clients on their goals. And I realized that everybody was really struggling with the money mindset more than anything else. So Ina was saying, I want to read your books. Which book do you recommend I read first? I would start with Lucky Bitch to read about the fundamentals of manifesting and how my philosophy is about very practical Virgo style manifesting. It's a very, very easy read. And then you can go on to read Get Rich Lucky Bitch, which is specifically focused on money. So thanks for that question. Okay, but so today we're set shifts is whatever that means for you. There's no one set definition of rich, but there is a definition of passive income. So I may as well start there. Had a look on Wiki because that's what we always do. And it says an income received on a regular basis with little effort required. And spoiler alert, it does still take effort, you know, especially when you have an online business, if you've created ebooks or courses or things like that. Passive income is not a scam. It is just a way of creating leveraged income and maybe creating a lot more, helping a lot more people, and you can receive an income for that without necessarily your one-to-one time. But spoiler alert, it absolutely does still take effort. It takes marketing, it takes consistency and all of that kind of stuff. But it's absolutely totally about the mindset. Okay, so some people are having a little bit of audio problems, which just probably, if there's other stuff that's open on your computer, I've shut down stuff as well, but we absolutely do have internet issues sometimes in Australia. Okay, so here is passive income. It can trigger the crap out of you. It can absolutely trigger all your fears and worst beliefs about yourself. It can make you feel like a fraud. It requires consistency and requires work. It takes bravery. And anyone who has created a course or a book, you absolutely know what I mean. It will really, like, it scares you, you know, and if that's something that's happened for you as well, you know, write it in. It's okay for you to be totally scared when it comes to creating, you know, a book or a course. It makes you feel very vulnerable. As my friend Yvonne Hill says, she said it's like you're standing naked in front of people, you know, and it makes you feel very, very vulnerable. Here's the other dirty secret of passive income. You have to clear your money blocks. It's not enough just to write a book. It's not enough to create a course. You absolutely have to clear your money blocks, and it makes it so much easier to do. We've got lots of Virgos watching. That's awesome. So try reloading the page, guys, if you do have audio problems. With things like Webinar Jam and Google Hangouts, it's definitely not a perfect system. Okay, so someone came and said, beautiful baby, I'm a new mom. How do you do it? I feel like I've got no time or focus. So, you know, it's definitely, we will definitely come up with some stuff here today. As a mum, you absolutely have to focus, and you have to just do just the things that are important. That's it, and let everything else go. Okay, so let's move on. As we go, it really resonates for you. If this is a shift that you need to make sure you comment on that. You're not going to have every single one of them. You know, there are 7 kind of crucial mindset shifts that you need to make. If there's one you think, oh, this is me, and it rings a bell or it resonates with you somewhere, then write this one down, because this is something you really need to work on. So this is the first one. I have to be everything to everyone. And a lot of us start out like this. We want to help everybody, even if we don't have really the zone of genius for it. Or we want to help everybody, even if we really don't like working with a particular target market. You know, maybe you prefer working with women and you don't want to work with men. That's okay. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Maybe you prefer working with people who are kind of at an intermediate level and you actually don't like working with beginners. Well, that's great. You don't have to be everything to everyone. And when you try and serve everybody, you serve nobody, you know, and you can get really burnt out and resentful. In your first year of business, go through, maybe that's just the cycle you have to go through. That's totally fine. But as you continue on, you can really niche down and really start to be clear on who you're serving. And let me show you some examples. This is kind of a bit embarrassing. So this is a real of a Blisa annex to watch, because that picture of me is so weird. Like, I have no chin in that picture. So I This is funny. So as part of that competition that I mentioned that we won, Mark and I got married 87 times in 6 months' time. We were trying to break a world record. And actually, before I started teaching people on manifesting and goal setting, I was going to be a dating coach for a little while. And so I started to think, okay, you know, Lucky Bitch is a great brand name. How far can I expand this? So I started writing and talking about manifesting your soulmate, even though it was not my zone of genius. I decided to write Get Hitched Lucky Bitch. How random is that? And guess what? I was thinking, what else can I write? Maybe I can write Get Fit Lucky Bitch. And oh my God, I just came up with so many random things because I was trying to be everything to everyone. And how random is it, right? But here's the great thing. When you are clear on who you serve and what it is that you do, because now I'm so focused on money and people know that I help them with money, it really, really helps your business and it really helps you to become focused and clear, and people know what they can get from you. Like, how funny would that be if you someone saying, I love the picture. It's so random. But honestly, are you trying to be everything to everyone? If this is you and you've got a million different businesses and none of them are being successful, this is something you really have to look at. It's fine if you've got a few different focuses and they're all doing well. Don't worry, I'm not telling you have to give up things that are doing well. This is if you are feeling like you're spreading yourself too thin, there are too many messages around. Tori was saying, I'd actually like to read that. I know, I'm sorry, I can't put it out. The book is finished. But no, I cannot put it out because it's not my zone of genius, okay? Here's another one for you. Write a zombie, and this is a picture of a zombie picture that I started creating. And I was going to write Lucky a Pocket Bitch. I still might do this one day just as a passion project, just to be fun. But seriously, this is what happens when you start to try and be everything to everyone. You go in random directions. So if that is you got to stop that shit, right? Because it's time for you to focus and it's time for you to be known for something that you're good at, and it's okay for you to choose and just do the things that you like. Okay, so that's a good one. So crucial minds are perfect before I'm successful. Now, this is really tricky, right? Because for some of us, we think we have to lose weight before we're allowed to do that. For some of us, we think we have to change everything about ourselves. We have to completely be perfect. We have to maybe change our accent. We have to change everything. And it's absolutely not true. You do not have to be perfect before you're successful. But as women, this is something that will hold us back, and this will hold you back from creating more passive income, right? Because you might just want to dip your toe in the water and write a book. Joe says, is there a lot of money in zombies? Yes. And Charity said, I'm being so random right now. Oh, cool. So, do you feel like you have to be perfect? Because nobody is perfect when they start. It absolutely, you have to start now. You have to start before you're ready. And this is the crucial thing. You just have to start, because you might never actually do it. So you might be thinking if you can dip your toe into just creating an ebook, that will create some passive income, but you're holding yourself back because the cover's not perfect, for example. Well, let me show something for you. So these are covers. That was my very first cover for Lucky Bitch. And if you have that, if you bought that book, you have got the first edition vintage copy. And then I changed them up, right? And we're about to change them again because they still look like kind of a bit, they're not perfect. But I had to start and I had to create those little bits of passive income to come in. So honestly, it cannot get worse than that. It cannot. What you're going to create is going to be so much better to that. Tegan says, I want to have the perfect version. And that just went, but stuck because I have so many ideas. Just start with something, Tegan. You can upgrade as you go. The way I look on video especially. Well, you know what? You're just going to have to start. Sylvie said, Sarah, I'm in the 50s group. You have to be the role model for other people. And I think the fact that my early stuff has looked so janky And Dawn says I'm a recovering perfectionist. I think because my stuff has kind of looked so budget, I really think that that helps in your community sometimes, because they go, oh my God, if she can put that out there, I can put myself out there as well. You know, like if I'm embarrassed to picture of the first cover of Get Rich Lucky Bitch, I'm wearing a beige trench coat. My skin looks beige. My hair looks beige. It is so not what I'm about. But I felt like I had to be that before I was allowed to, I don't know, I had to be a bit polite, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So trust me, it's not going to be as bad as that. So Dana said, I changed my first CD covers 3 times. Each represented where I was at that time. So perfect. Yeah, someone was saying, yeah, Get Rich Lucky Dick, Amber, a guide to money mindset and men. That's hilarious. Here's the thing about being on video too, guys. It's okay for you to be who you are. Like when we see, you know, in the model world, everyone's perfect. But in the real world, people just want to see someone who looks like them. You know, show yourself how you are right now, because somebody really needs to see that. And that is going to create abundance for you as well. Okay, so this first e-course, look, I want you to crap this was. This was in 2011, but this is how it starts. Momoka says, Dawn says, I'm a plus size girl and I do a lot of video. I've done TV. Exactly. I'm plus size as well. That's what happens. We are just, you know, just be who you are. Someone wants to see that. And that's the key to your abundance, creating stuff that people want. They want to see real people. They want to see someone who looks like them and them seeing that, but also you're denying yourself more income and more abundance for you. So please just look, and I don't care. You're allowed to write in there and say, this is terrible, this is crap, this looks ugly. Please say it because it's true. Let's have a closer look. Look how bad this was. You do not have to be perfect. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. Crucial mindset shift number 3. People will think I'm a fraud. People will think I don't know what I'm talking about. People will ask me for my qualifications. They'll say, you know, you've got spelling mistakes. That's not right. You don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, if that's something that you've got, right in there. What are you afraid of, really? You know, are you afraid that people are just going to say you're shit? Because trust me, that never happens. People absolutely do correct spelling mistakes and grammar, and you know, if you've done something wrong. Do you know what? No one has ever written to me and said, Denise, your branding was terrible. No one's ever said that. And I was always really worried that people go, oh my God, they're gonna, and they might have thought it, but they actually never said it, right? So what are you afraid of? You think that they're just gonna say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're horrible. You know, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too whatever. What are you actually afraid of that people are they're gonna say to you? Okay, I want a small too blurry. Let me read this out for you. These are my 1-star reviews for Get Rich Lucky Bitch. Okay, 1 star. Nothing that women don't know, but if you're a 15 to 20-year-old, you can get this book. Thanks, John F. Todd Mittner said, this is where we're at when it comes to business books. Is the market so crowded that those wanting to crank out a book resort to a wannabe hipster persona? Thank God I bought it on a deep discount. Being almost free, I still felt like returning it. By telling you to keep your money in your wallet, I did a better job of making you rich. 1-star review for Get Rich Lucky Bitch, people. Worst book ever from Jason G. After reading only 3 pages, I was sick and tired of the offensive language that this writer seemed to think was necessary, so I deleted this book. So some people will not like you. Definite spoiler alert. When you put yourself out there, when you create a course or a book or something that is going to be leveraged, it does, you know, some people won't like it. Spoiler alert, you will get refunds. You absolutely will get refunds. Here's the thing too, Danielle said, I worry that they'll think I'm not knowledgeable enough or qualified to talk about it. You know, you just have to add your conversation to it. You don't have to be the Oprah of your industry. Oprah wasn't the Oprah of her industry when she started. So some people will think that, you know, definite spoiler alert on that. but it's totally worth it. And if you can just get over that and have that shift in mindset, that's okay. So here's the thing too, if you're worried that people are a bitch or that if you're successful, you're not going to be ethical, you know, use a mantra like, it's safe for me to be ethical and rich. Karina said, seems the bad reviews are from men. They obviously don't get women. Totally. Isn't that weird that all 3 1-star reviews, then there were, I think there were other 1-star reviews where people, you know, people don't like the language, and that's totally fine as well. Wendy says, you can't please everybody all of the time. Selena says, I write a blog and it has spelling mistakes because I have dyslexia, but I don't care because I write from the heart. So true. And there will be other people who have got dyslexia who need to do that as well, to see you and know that it's okay for them to put themselves out there as well. Rhonda said, how long did you keep your book at a lower price before you increased the price? For my book, I did a special at the beginning where I think it was like $1 or it was cheap to download for about a week. So Helen says, I know I'm really good at what I do and can help many, many women. Why am I holding myself back and not allowing more passive income? Fear of success. Absolutely, Helen. I totally agree. That could be a fear of success. And also you dig down a little bit deeper. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that people are going to think you're a fraud? Are you afraid that people are going to criticize you? Okay, so next shift. Crucial mindset shift number 4. I have to be Oprah or don't even bother. And when I first started, I did not want to write a book about money because I thought, I'm not Susie Orman, and people are going to write to me and say, well, where are your financial qualifications? Who are you to write this book? You don't know what you're talking about. Here's the thing though, as I said before, you have to be okay adding to the conversation because your voice might be something that somebody needs to hear. They might need to hear it in the way that you say it. They might need to hear it in your exact flavor. They might need to hear it with swear words if you swear. They might need to hear it in your accent. So for all of you out there, and I know there will be a percentage who English is not your first language, and you have made up an excuse that you can't create courses, you can't do videos, you can't write books because English is not your first language. That is just as an excuse as I have to lose 10 pounds because somebody needs to hear it in your flavor. And you do not have to be Oprah to be allowed to contribute to that conversation. And once I got that in myself, once I realized, oh my God, I'm just one person talking about money. How cool is that? Well, you're just part of that. Maybe you're part of a movement that might just give someone else the bravery to join that movement as well. Cool. So Tammy said she is offended by the language, but she cringes to get through the good stuff. Thanks, Tammy. I appreciate that. At least, you know, at least you're honest about it. That's totally fine. Okay, so I want doing the money boot a couple of years, been doing it for 3 years. 1,800 women have gone through this at the moment. Just look at the branding, by the way. The first branding, I did it myself. What I don't even know. I am so embarrassed about it. Like, what was I thinking to create the branding like that? But I had a message that I was so passionate about, and I wanted to share that message, even though, I mean, I don't even understand what that green is at the bottom. It makes no sense. And then I upgraded it to the middle version, and then I upgraded it again, and I'm just about to upgrade it again. And this time we're taking it to the next level again, right? But you have to start where you're at. I didn't have the mindset at that time to spend a lot of money. I just had a message to share. I kept on getting blocked by the technology. I felt guilty about making a course that I didn't have to work with someone individually on. So absolutely, you have to start where you're at right now. And you can upgrade as you go. But if you wait to be Oprah before you even start, guess what? You are not going to start. Kelly said you've come a long way with branding. Thank you, Kelly. That was so diplomatic. So diplomatic. So that Vera said that's what mine looks like. That's great. Just absolutely share what you can right now. My first videos. Okay, so I'm just going to take a sip of water. So the first video on the top left-hand corner, I filmed it with my iPad. It was in my bedroom. See that thing, like it's like a wallpaper thing? I just got that at a stationery store and I thought I'd just stick it up on the wall behind me. It's not even straight. It's not even straight. See, notice how I'm wearing green and navy. I didn't know what my colors were. I didn't have a sense of my brand. See the like dark corners in the corner of the thing. I was filming it on my iPad and I had like a kind of a lens cap in the way. See the thing that I'm sitting on? That is a mattress that is at the back of another mattress because it was my spare bed. I'm sorry, there's just a truck going past. And it was covered with a quilt cover. That was all I could do at the time. That was all I could do right then. See the second one in the top right-hand corner, that was the next upgraded version of the Money Boot Camp. And then the bottom one, now I work with a professional film crew. I'm actually filming the new boot camp videos tomorrow and Friday. And I've got a set designer here. She's creating a brand new set for me. But here's the thing, I didn't start out like that. I had a message to share and I didn't care that I had to sit there in my bedroom wearing peas around my neck. Like, what is that necklace? It is a necklace of peas. Sylvie says you can get help for technology. There are tons of virtual assistants who specialize in techie stuff. Exactly. And you have to give yourself permission to do that. So Petra said, I'm a personal branding expert and I never talk about colors in website. Your message is the most important. Absolutely. Your message. And, you know, you can see from my face, even though it's not a pro thing, I still had a message to share. And you have got something to share now that people need to hear. So don't feel like you have to be Oprah. You do not have to be perfect before you're allowed to do it. And the thing is now, you can start with your iPhone. You know, start with your iPhone, start with your computer. There are actually many more tools now than when I did this in 2012. You know, there are a lot more apps and you can actually create something really pro. You can get someone on Fiverr to help you. There are no excuses, but it's just your mindset that's holding you back from giving yourself permission, feeling like you have to be Oprah, feeling like you have to be perfect to do it. Okay, so Nori said, this is awesome. Thanks for sharing and taking us behind the scenes. Joe said, peace be with you. Anna said, shows the daring and this is what it takes. Yes, and I really want you to know that you can do it as well. So this is a question from Claudia. Do you ever rent a space like a hotel room for a day to film videos? Well, that top right-hand corner, that actually was a hotel room. That was a hotel room in Fort Lauderdale. And then the video down the bottom, that was my house that I lived in last year. And yeah, the videos that we're doing this week, they're in my house as well. But you can totally do that. Laurie said, did you rebrand yourself or hire someone to help you with it? I've hired someone this time to help me. But you know, you can do it yourself. You can get someone on Fiverr. Just, you can't use it as an excuse. Someone says, I record on my Kindle and literally have a beige wall behind me. Yes. So just do what you can do. Dana said, look at online astrologers. The quality level is all over the place, but the ones with the biggest followings are the ones who are most engaged, not most technical. Nicola said, filmed my first kitchen video with my son this week. I'm so scared to upload it to YouTube. Nicola, get it done. You know, start creating that community and start sharing because people need to see it. Okay, so how are we going for time? Good. I think it's like where we're at right now. You know, it's safe for you to take that next level. Maybe you do need to up-level your business a little bit and you're worried about it. And I actually just, spent a lot of money up-leveling my branding because I knew it would make a huge big difference. The only thing is I want to say, don't use it as an excuse. Don't use it as an excuse if you don't feel like you've got money to invest in your business right now. Invest where you're at right now, even if it means borrowing equipment from people or just using what you already have. Okay. Mindset shift, and this is the biggest one. I think honestly, this is absolutely the biggest one, is I have to work hard to make money. And this is going to be the one that derails you every time when you start to create passive income. Now, when I first created my first book, Lucky Bitch, every time someone bought it, I felt like throwing up. And not just because of all the other stuff we've talked about where people are going to think I'm a fraud, they're going to see my spelling mistakes, they're going to hate it, all that kind of stuff. I actually felt, and once I recognized it, it was because I felt like I didn't really earn that money. I felt like I was cheating. I felt like I needed to call up that person who bought the book and say, do you want me to come around and like read it to you? Because it felt inappropriate to make money for doing quote unquote nothing. And this is where you're going to get tripped up with passive income. The same thing happened when I created my first e-course. I was like, am I allowed to make money and not give everyone the one-to-one attention? You know, it was cheaper than working with me one-to-one, but I was like, am I allowed to do this? Is this okay? And it hit up against that belief that you have to work hard to make money. And if this is you, I really want to hear your experiences, and I can start reading out some of these things. But, you know, and this is the thing too for our generation, and it doesn't matter how old you are, right? But our generation of entrepreneurs, we have a different skill set. We have different tools than entrepreneurs who have come before us have had. We can leverage ourselves. We can create things that somebody in the other side of the world can buy and give us money for. We can, I mean, look at us now. I'm in Newcastle. You're somewhere else in the world, and we're connecting over the internet. I don't even know how that thing works. It's like magic. And so the first time that somebody pays you for something that you've already created and quote unquote didn't have to work for, it is absolutely going to trigger some of your old stories. So Chris said, oh my God, that is so me. So true. So yep, how come it's so hard to overcome? Because it's new, Cass. That's something. It's new for us. We're making money in different ways than people have before. And we still have the same old stories, though, that it has to be. So I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Sionade. She said, I sold my very first ebook yesterday, 1 copy, severe fraud alert. Can I just say congratulations? That is absolutely amazing. First of many, and I absolutely know that feeling. I remember that feeling well, and don't worry, you can overcome it. Okay, so okay, if you want to ask a question, click the chat box, click on the red question mark, ask a question, and it'll be highlighted as a question. Thanks, Millie. I appreciate that. I get anxious every time I make a sale. That's from Akila. So I have the need to contact from Roxy. Hey, Wendy in Newcastle. I work like a dog and I'm not getting anywhere. What's that about? I feel like it's totally me. That's from Veronica. Have to ask, when you acknowledge an income, do you include your I'll answer that in a bit. It makes sense that people have this shift. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a great one. I feel like I have to add one-to-one time in a course to justify the price, Amy. That's a huge one, right? Okay, so Claudia said, my parents keep telling me I need to work 60 hours to make my business really work. How do you deal with other people reinforcing that belief when you're focused on shifting away from that? It's a great question, Claudia. Here's the thing, you know, you have to surround yourself with people who are in this conversation and who will give you permission through their own role modeling as well. You know, I still struggle with it sometimes because I do make a lot of income and I don't work as hard as my parents would have, you know, or do. My mum works very hard. And that does trigger that part of me that I have to work hard to make money. And I can sometimes sabotage opportunities because of that. So, and that is true whether you just sold your first ebook, as someone has said, and then, you know, to multi-six figures and beyond. And, you know, millionaire women I know do the same thing, and they sometimes and do it. So that's a huge one. Okay, so hopefully you can see this, right? There's a difference between, someone was saying the other day, they're like, oh, I just need to be positive and my money will come. And that's not true either. Like, I'm showing you this because it's consistency more than hard work that actually makes the difference. These are all the videos, some of the videos I've made in the last couple of years. I've been so consistent, and you can see they're all different quality. Some of them are absolutely budget. Some of them are just me in a room. Some of them I've got makeup on. Some of them I don't. But it's consistency that's going to make the difference rather than hard work. But if you've got that belief that you haven't cleared, it will always bump up against, you will sabotage yourself because you'll create more work, or you'll repel things to be easy, or you won't ask for help. You believe fundamentally that it has to be hard, and you feel like it won't be worth it, or you won't deserve it unless it's physically hard, or you pull all-nighters, or you do all that kind of stuff. So put your hand on your heart, and I want everybody to do this. Put your hand on your heart and say out loud, It's safe for me to work less and earn more. It's safe for me to work less and earn more. It's a huge one. And Candace said past generation equates one-to-one income, work really hard to make more money. That's right, Candace. And that's no wonder we're freaking out about it. Most of us have never seen an alternative. We are the ones who are creating an alternative for future generations and, you know, for our kids, for us to see that. Patricia said it's more about adding value to people's lives than putting in a zillion hours. I love that. Put that on a t-shirt. Chantel says you need more consistency for sure. I don't know if that's Chantel Duffield or if it's another Chantel, but you know, it's so true. It's that consistency and the work, and everyone's got an apprenticeship that they have to, you know, to do, but no one tells you how long the apprenticeship is, right? Maybe it's you have to do 10 videos before you feel comfortable. Maybe you need to do 100 videos before you get traction. Nobody knows how long the apprenticeship is, and that's why you have to show up every day and you have to be consistent. Okay, mindset exists for everybody. Insert your industry. Maybe you're a yoga teacher and you say yoga should be free for everybody. Of course it should be free. Maybe you're an EFT practitioner, emotional freedom technique, and you say, well, this technology is amazing. It should be free for everyone. Insert whatever it is you do. It's true. That should be for everyone. It should totally be free. It doesn't mean you shouldn't charge for it. And here's the thing, when you do charge well for what you do, maybe you put your knowledge into an ebook, or you put your knowledge into a free video series, or you know, a DVD or whatever it is, then you know that you can give that to as many people as you can, because it's not taking your personal time and energy. And then you have more time and energy to create more stuff for other people. And if people want to go take that further, then they can give you money. They can work with you one-to-one, or they can buy your course. So I actually encourage you to give away a lot of stuff for free, but not necessarily your one-to-one time and energy. Create free videos, do a podcast. Okay, so someone said sports coaching. Michelle, yeah, fitness and health should be free for everybody. Of course it should. Kinesiology should be free for everyone, but it doesn't mean you can't charge for it. So you can be generous by doing periscopes, doing live webinars, doing a free video series, having an opt-in where someone can get an audio for free. But then you have to give yourself permission to receive in return for that. And by receive, it means you can say to someone, hey, you've got a free taster, or if you can't afford it, great, you know, here's some free resources for you. If you want to work with me further, here's the next step. You're allowed to charge for that. So if you can shift that around from, instead of my time and energy, because you are a finite resource, right? And if you feel like you have to give and give and give until you have nothing left, well, then you won't be able to create and help even more people, because you will be burnt out. So your energy, and you are a finite resource, but if you create lots of free things for people, you can give that to as many people as you want. So if you work in the healing world, if you work in any transformation, clothing designer, what kind of content can I offer for free? You can help people organize their wardrobes, or what can you put, you know, fashion advice, you know, put together a weekly newsletter of trends. And then again, hey, you want to work with me? You want me to do this for you? Here's how we work together. You know, so any business can be, you can find things to give value to people, and then you can feel really good. So when you get people who go, oh, I really want to work with you and I can't afford it, you go, great, here's my blog. Here's a free video series I have. Here's my 10 tips to do Kundalini at home by yourself. And if you want to work with me further, here are some services that I offer, or here's my next course. This will free you up to create so much more passive income and actually help a lot more people as well. Okay, periscopes are brilliant. Yeah, patterns, style guides. That's for the girl about, yes, I will be doing a replay for all those people who have asked. Anyone tried kinesiology for money blocks? Yes, it absolutely works. That's from Lisa. Okay, so for me to charge by yourself, otherwise just think it mentally. It's safe for me to charge for my work. And it's also safe for you to create a lot of free stuff for people that don't require your time and energy, that people can access 24 hours a day online to help a lot more people. And then it's safe for you to charge for your work. Okay. All right, last shift. This is crucial mindset shift number 7. I don't care about making money. I just want to help people. Well, you know what? The two things are not mutually exclusive. You can have both. As I said, just in that last point, you can create a lot of free resources for people. You can create a lot of ways for people to use your tools immediately. And it's okay for you to also charge people to help them. You're allowed to charge for things that come easily to you. You're allowed to charge for things that people could, in theory, find online for free. But you can curate it for them. You know, you can make things easy for people. It's okay to charge for that. It's okay to charge for your valuable time. And there's a few people who are coming up and saying about, being a therapist and wanting to help people. It is your business. You can totally work with people for free, but you can set a limit on it because there are, unlimited amounts of people who would want your help, but you are a finite resource. So if it feels powerful for you, you can say, one day a month is pay what you can day, or one day a month I leave for people who can't afford it. But it's okay for you to have that time and energy to create passive income products and services that people can access, that is your knowledge packaged up for people. Okay, so Laureen said, that's me. Sometimes feel ashamed or embarrassed that I'm taking money from somebody. And this is the thing, it's not a take. You have to be able to receive as well to complete the circle. When you give out value, you can receive value in return. So that's really interesting language, and it's how we feel sometimes. I'm taking their money. Well, what are you giving in return? It's a beautiful cycle. It's balance. It's an energetic transaction that is balanced when there is something that's being given and something that's being received. Okay, so me to read. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to open it up to some questions in a second, but I also just want to tell you guys, obviously, if this is something that you need to work on, you need to work on your money mindset. This is something that is a block for you. I just want to spend the next couple of minutes telling you about my Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I know my course is something that a lot of women have gone through. We've had 1,800 women go through now, and it really is a really powerful resource to be able to get through those blockages. Number 2, you want to walk your talk. So you might not talk about money or success, but you're ready to be a role model for your community and maybe your family. So maybe you feel like a fraud when you talk to people about transformation because you've got money blocks, or you've read heaps of books and you've got some missing puzzle pieces. Maybe even like you're really scared about your potential and your vision for your life, and you want to be a role model. You know that there are some things in your business, in your life, that aren't working because of your money mindset. And honestly, it actually doesn't matter what you teach, that you can really have an impact on your clients' money mindset, even if you don't teach money and success, by role modeling what it means to really look after yourself and know from a deep down place that you deserve it and you're worth it. That's an obvious one because you're undercharging. Maybe you don't want to increase your prices. That's something that we cover a lot in the boot camp. Maybe you've been stuck at a certain income level and you just don't have the money to create that lifestyle that you really want. Number 4, you want to live a first-class life. This is the whole thing about creating passive income and creating leveraged income. It gives you the income to upgrade areas of your life. And if you see other people who have increased their income or they're doing really well in business, and if you go and have a look at luckybitch.com/bootcamp and have a look at some of the testimonials, some of the women that you probably already know in your community, that's kind of a little bit of a secret success tip. They've worked on their money blocks. It's not that they know something that you don't know about business and success. It is literally they don't have the same blockages, or they've got the tools to deal with their blockages. Reason number 5, you have money blocks. Come into my world and they don't think I've got money blocks, and then they realize that they do, or they go, oh, it makes so much sense now. Step number 6, you need support and community, but you don't know anybody. So maybe you're surrounded by people who have got a poverty mindset, that they're not the people who are going to take you to that next level, and you feel like you're alone. Well, the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp actually comes with a community of women who are all focused on upgrading their mindset around money, around creating a first-class life. And it is absolute, even though there are people in there who've got way different businesses and different income levels, we're all working on through the same blocks, which is really interesting, because your blocks will derail you when you're selling your first ebook, and they'll derail you when you're doing your first 6-figure launch. So that's why you need support and community. And really should join, especially, is that you have huge dreams and you're impatient. Maybe you get stuck on doing things that you don't want to do. You're not working with the right clients and you want to earn a lot more money, but it feels freaking hard. So if you have big dreams, don't wait and think that things are going to get better by themselves, or you can just work through it with willpower, because willpower is just the top level stuff. You have to dig deep into those money blocks, and some of those shifts that we've already talked about today, you absolutely have to clear that, and then you give yourself permission to be successful. Okay, so someone was just saying, if I'm above the startup stage, is the boot camp for me? I need major money story and mindset help. Yes, because we're not, it's not a business course, so we don't talk about business strategies necessarily. We're all talking about the mindset stuff. And so you can literally have a conversation with a particular block that you have with someone who's a millionaire and someone who's just starting out, and the feeling is the same and the clearing is the same. Open it up to question. I want them a video. I'm ready for the next step. You're ready for you to go to the next level of passive income, of mindset. It's your time to break through those self-imposed limits that you've created through maybe your money story. Okay, so yep, that's that. Now let me just go back now to video. Just give me a sec. It's always a little bit clunky. Okay. Okay, questions. All right, so I've got them on this other one. Okay, I'm going to start. Oh my gosh, these questions. There's so many. That's awesome. Okay, I'll just try and share as many as I can. Okay, so Catherine said, ironically, it's this part of my webinars that I'm not comfortable about asking people to buy from me. I feel like I'm being greedy. It's easier to do it in an ad. Any advice? So Catherine, I'm pretty unattached if people join or not. Like I think I've done a lot of money work, and I think this is where you get to a point where whatever happens, if people join or don't join, you deeply and completely love and accept yourself. And that's how I feel always about my money stuff. I think it's like if you invited people over for dinner and you fed them dinner and then you said, does anyone want dessert? If some people said, I'm full, I don't want dessert, like, are you going to feel bad about it? Are you going to feel like offended by it? So I feel the same way. I'm like, hey, come to my free webinar. And by the way, if you want some dessert, join my money boot camp and you can get some dessert. Think of it in that way, and that's fun. Okay, all right, so pronounce SEPA. When you're creating content for a course, how do you know it's your own so you're not taking other people's ideas? It's a good question. So I don't read a lot of other people's stuff. I don't read other people's newsletters. Make sure you're always putting your own spin on things. So that's what I do with my money stuff. I make sure that I'm putting my spin on that. There's nothing new under the sun. So just don't copy other stuff. Shelley asked a great question. What new things will be covered in the new course that we could access if we sign up now? So I created the current course in 2012. Obviously, since then, that's 3 years ago, I have learned a lot more about creating abundance. There are a lot deeper distinctions that I want to take people through. Obviously, I've had 1,800 women go through it. I know what questions come up again and again. I know what bits are missing. I know where we need to add in extra mindset shifts. So that's why it needed a big upgrade, because the community itself is upgraded. Our mindset collectively is upgraded, and there's definitely more things that I want to share. And that's why I knew it was time not only to rebrand it, but to absolutely redo the content. Someone saying, how do you do the blue background? I've done a blog post about this. It's an exhibition stand. So Shelley, I hope that answered your questions. Okay, Tara said, I've done the law of attraction stuff and it's not working. Can this help? Yes, one of the bonuses that comes with the bootcamp is my Lucky Bitch manifesting course, where I really break down manifesting into a very practical Virgo style practicality, right? Because I don't know, otherwise I didn't know how to do it. I needed it to be, what do I do next? What do I do next? Then what do I do? So, it's not, the money course itself is not so much about law of attraction, because we've focused very much on money for that and money mindset, but the Lucky Bitch Manifesting course is one of the bonuses for it. Do you need to trademark the name to start? It's a really great question, Jolene. Definitely do a bit of a search just to make sure there's nothing obvious out there. And yeah, you might want to just do a trademark search yourself. You usually can do that, and you can get a trademark lawyer as well. So yeah, have a little check of that. Okay, so this is a great one. Oh, Shannon, I did manifest money for my husband. Why does that happen? Because men don't have the same blocks as we do. And I think that sometimes that happens because we rub off on them, right? You know, we start to work on our own mindset stuff, and they definitely benefit because we're still working on some of the blocks. So there could be some blocks there that are still holding you back from receiving money. And it always takes, you just need to uncover a little bit more. Go deeper, do a deep clean, because it's so common that that women start to manifest for other people in their life. I feel like I'm selling to people and it makes me feel uncomfortable and icky. What is your advice to overcome this? This is all going to be about working on your money blocks. Super, super important. Now, just have to let somebody in. I think someone's letting in. It's okay. This is really funny. If you listen to one of my scopes this week, you know that we had a bit of weird kind of ghostly activity in the house. So I invited a lovely lady, Renee Longworth, over and she's going to do some decluttering of weird stuff in the house. So anyway, she's just arrived. If my partner and I both want to join, do we need to do so individually? So here's the thing, a lot of people do the course with their husbands, and that's totally fine. But if you do want to join the community, you do have to purchase individually. So I don't buy all that kind of stuff if you do it together. Obviously don't share a link with a friend. That's not really good karma, because you wouldn't want people to do that for your e-courses and your passive income stuff. But, you know, absolutely, it's really great when you can do stuff like that. You know, you can watch the videos in bed and just let it kind of go into them. Jennifer said, oh, good, I was wondering what was happening with the ghostly activity. That was a great scope. I'll do another scope on it as well. Here's the thing that I always do with my bootcamp is if I introduce a new bonus, I always give it to the people who have invested in the past, because, you know, they are my loyal community. So it's just, we'll cut it off 24 hours from this webinar. But, you know, this is the thing with when I upgrade the course, it's going double the price. But people who joined back in 2012, they're getting upgraded for free as well. So once, it's kind of like the earlier join the boot camp, the better. Become my added course, I'm like, I'll just give it to my boot campers, like whatever. Okay, cool. Katie said, I want a better relationship with money but don't relate to most of the blocks mentioned. Do you think it's still a good resource for me? Absolutely, because I could only touch on a few blocks today, Katie. And what we want to do with you is uncover what your block is, what your personal sabotage is. Everyone has got their own. Everyone's got their own flavor that will come up for you again and again. And it usually doesn't change that much over time. So you have to work hard to make money thing, that's one of my ones. And that came up for me with my first ebook, and that comes up for me when I'm thinking about bigger and more. So we have to uncover yours, and that's the whole point of the boot camp and the training. Akila said, I bought the holiday bundle, which I loved. How is the boot camp different? So the holiday bundle was about manifesting, and the boot camp is purely focused on money and money blocks. So it's a completely different kettle of fish. It is purely for people who want to work on their money, or want to upgrade their pricing. And also it comes with a live community. And I am in the boot camp every single day. I don't answer every question. You know, I definitely don't pretend or even advertise that, but I do go in there every day to see the flavor, to add encouragement. And, you know, there are women in there from all over the world, so you can find your new best friends in there, basically. Jennifer said, do you travel to the US to do seminars or talks? I don't that often, purely because I want to have another baby. So maybe I'd love to. Okay, what kind of formats do you use in the bootcamp? Is it mostly open forums like this? We have a really, really active Facebook group, and people also organize their own meetups and stuff like that. So there are people in there every day in the Facebook group. The actual course itself it's videos, it's handouts, it's audios, plus all of the bonuses. So I'll tell you some of the bonuses that are in there. you pretty much get everything that I have. So you get my manifesting courses, you get my live event bundles, you get pretty much everything I've ever created. You get my money audio, the affirmation subliminal money audio as well, which people love. I was like, oh my God, there's crazy things that happen to that. Okay, so do I have an ultra clear outline or something for the bootcamp? Yeah, if you go to luckybitch.com/bootcamp, you'll see the curriculum on there. So yeah, isn't there an irony in spending money on a course about money to make more money? What do you think about that? So I don't teach people how to make money. I don't teach people a business model. I don't teach people my model to how to make money. All I know what's holding you back from creating money and doing what you do. So that's why there are so many different professions that do the bootcamp. I don't care what you charge. It doesn't matter what your money goals are. But if you feel like there's something holding you back and it's the mindset stuff, well, then I think that is something worth investing in. Learn from my business model. I get rich from you teaching my business model. It's like, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's like if you need some, if you need some work on your mindset stuff, well, it's worth paying for, right? Okay, cool. So Lisa Sharp, hey Lisa, joining last year was hands down the best business and personal investment I've ever made. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm really proud of the fact that it is not an ongoing price. It's a one price that you pay and then you're in for life. And you can come back to the materials again and again when you've hit new plateaus and you get different things out of them. Prita said, to be honest, I've tried a few other money programs before this one. Lucky Bitch Bootcamp is my favorite. Thank you, Prita. I felt big shifts from it and doing the work, and you can always keep on working on it. It's the best supportive environment in the forum. Yeah, I'm so proud of the forum. We curate it very carefully. It's a no promo forum, so it's kept very sacred and safe for women to talk about money. It's a beautiful environment. Everyone says it's always the most positive place on Facebook. It's, people aren't there bitching about stuff. It's powerful. And here's the thing, the unexpected stuff about it too, like when you're having like boundary stuff with clients, there's always someone there to help you with it because it's always related to a money block. Okay, Sage said, I launched my e-course without having a huge following or doing a ton of promotion. I felt like I could do better. Should I take it down, revamp, or relaunch? You don't have to be perfect. It was one, even if you had 2 people who paid you for it, they have essentially paid you to create the course. Keep tweaking it. Remember seeing that really crappy first version of the bootcamp. Imagine if I just went, oh, only a few people joined the bootcamp, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, you just upgrade. What if you don't have an e-course passive income stream yet? Will the course still benefit from the program? Yes, a lot of people who join don't have a business yet because they're blocked around it. They don't necessarily know what they want to do. A lot of people seem to, even though it's not a business course, I'll be very clear on that. We don't teach you, what niche should you go after and things like that. A lot of people do change their focus from being in the boot camp because they realize that sometimes the focus that they've chosen was based on their money blocks, and they've started to give themselves permission to earn more. Will there be a replay available for the bonus webinar if we join in the next 24 hours but can't make it live? Absolutely. You'll get all the materials. I'll give you kind of, anything that people want on there. If they say, oh, can we get your launch plan or can we get your emails? I'll just give it to you guys. I'm always really open about stuff like that in the boot camp. Even, resources, just the way I do things, I'm totally happy to share all of that so that there'll be absolutely. Yeah, so that's just at luckybitch.com/bootcamp, guys, to jump on that. So Katya said, I've just been sitting on the fence for a while, joining now. Yay! I'm so excited. Thank you. Blocks 2 from Jen. It's the same stuff. Your money and your success blocks are really the same. And what you start to realize, it's actually not about the money at all. It's actually about giving yourself permission to live a first-class life and give yourself permission and love and deeply and completely loving and accepting yourself. That's what you realize it's about. You realize it's actually not that much about the money at all. Megan says, yes, can I sign up through an affiliate and still receive the bonus? Absolutely. So if there is an affiliate that you've learned from and you want to sign up through their affiliate link, absolutely, the time still applies. Nori said, heart for you. Isn't that funny? We're so used to now on Periscope where you can give each other hearts. And just getting started, do you work with people wanting to start a business. Yes, there are people of business in the money boot camp. Kim said, okay, I'm in. Here we go. That's brilliant. Barry said, is it safe for men to join? We do have a couple of men, so I'm really glad that you asked that, Barry. You know, we're absolutely open to men joining. You know, you do have to understand that it's a mostly female environment, and you know, we're obviously a lot more aware of things like that. Like, there's never been any guy in there who's been slipped, but male driven environment, so it's totally safe for men to join. But just to let you know that money blocks aren't gender specific. Barry, go for it. I love it. Bazza, that's what we say. E. Marie, challenge accepted. Making a list now. It's actually one website, so the value is there. Just need the money in my account. Exactly. Go and get that money. Open up your channels. When I say open up your channels, it's not like light an abundance candle. It's like make something that people can give you money for, and then make it really easy for people to give you money. Send out an email with the link. Click here to buy my session. Click here to buy my book. Rose said, did you say it's about deeply loving and accepting yourself? I do. That's what it's about. It's not about the money at all. Amanda said, what's the weekly time commitment with boot camp? Here's the thing. We've set it out as a 6-week course where there's a couple of videos each week, but here's what we always say. It's like Bikram yoga. You know, sometimes it's hot and you feel overwhelmed and you can't get through the class, and you just stay in the room. So that's why we say to people, come join the community, start soaking up that goodness, and then get through the course as you get through it. For that real anal people who need rules, and they're like, no, but do I just sit and do one? And you go, yeah, you can if you want to. Sorry, I'm burping. So gross. Do week 1, then do week 2, then do week 3. But sometimes some people stay on week 1 for weeks. I would say probably a good percentage of time you've got to take the lessons as you need them. So there's no set, like, I'm not checking up on you and going, hey, why haven't you done, you know, week 3, exercise 4 yet? What's wrong with you? You just have to take it as you come. Debbie said, I'm sorry I missed the webinar. We had a storm and the cable went out. It's okay, Debbie. I'll send out the replay. It will be ready in a little bit, and I'll send it out. Okay, cool. Nori said, on your new upgraded content, will you cover different ways to create passive income? It's not on the curriculum, but you know, we always take suggestions, and we can always. But I think the thing is, though, I don't care what your business is, you know, because you're the one that's got the skills and the talent. So you do pick up a lot from other people on what different methods they're using to create income. But what I'm more interested in is uncovering the stuff that's holding you back from doing what you already know you want to do. So I hope that makes sense. Like, I really don't. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, you can follow a system. You can follow someone. You know, you can just put together a project plan and write a book. It's not a big deal, but it's all the mindset stuff that's holding you back from doing that. So that's what I help you with. How often do I run the boot camps? So great question, Millie. So it's a program that you access and you go through yourself. So that part of it's self-study, and the community is there all the time. It's 24 hours. So the cool thing is we've got people who might say in the community, hey guys, I'm starting week 1 again. And they might have been in the course for like 3 years. Who wants to start week 1 with me? And everyone's kind of doing all different lessons at the same time. So that's kind of cool as well. But you can join with another group of people if you want to, you know, do a lesson. Sometimes people do one of the bonus things, which is the Do It Quick Lucky Bitch 10-day course. And people are like, okay, let's do the 10 days together. And we'll be adding a few more things in that too, where you can organize your own meetups. You can organize your own mastermind within the group. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks for Jackie said, I'm finally ready to explore this aspect of my business. I met you many years ago in Dallas. Yay! Awesome, Jackie. How good was Dallas? I'm so bummed that Ali Brown doesn't do events like that anymore. That was so good. Okay, so Tori said, I've spent over $60,000 in the last 2 to 3 years on coaching and courses. I realize I haven't done yours yet because I have upper limit problems. I think I already know it's going to crack me wide open and get me to get out of my way. Thanks for the nudge. I'm signing up for sure. Tori, it is absolutely not a scary course. You know, it's the style that we're having today. I'm all about making things easy and enjoyable and path of least resistance. And it's not as scary as you think. You know, some exercises will definitely open and trigger some stuff, and even the way you go through the boot camp will trigger some stuff. Things that will happen will start to trigger things, but it's not scary. It's not like it's, you know, you're stepping into an abyss, and it's like things will change, your mindset will incrementally change, but it's not scary. It's just me and other chicks. We're just normal like you are. Okay, cool. Helen said, I'm also looking for a mastermind group. Yes. So we have a lot of lucky bees who form their own mastermind groups because we've got similar mindset. It can be tricky when you're working on your money mindset and others aren't, you know, and it comes on that. So it's a brilliant way to find your new business besties. So Tori said, oh no, not scary. I'm saying I've been making excuses. Yeah. We all make excuses. We all avoid the things that we know are going to be good for us. And I remember in 2011 when I started working on my money mindset stuff, you know, I felt just I was like, this is the missing step. You know, I was like, I'm smart, I'm talented. Why can't I just, you know, get this together? And so I went on an exploration of my money stuff, and it, you know, and I'll tell you this so honestly, you know, you will continue to work on it for the rest of your life. It's not like you do it once and it's a permanent thing and you only have to do it once. It's something you have to work on, and that's why you need a community. You have to, it's like brushing your teeth. You have to brush your teeth every day. It's not, you don't just do it once. You don't do it one time and that's it. And it's permanent, fresh breath forever. It's something with other tools. That's why you need the community. Okay, cool. Let me see if there's any more questions, and I've got to go and hang out with Renee, who's doing. I'm loving this fake hair. It's like I'm like, oh, so you might see a bit. This fake hair might have more appearances. See, that's what happens. You know, you just think, oh, you wake up in the morning, you've got no energy. Put a wig on. Okay, so Karina says, sometimes I feel like I'm in a ball in a pinball machine bounced around with fear. Yeah, it is. You know, that's the problem, right? When we've got money blocks, we're so open to this roller coaster of emotions of money up and down. And you want to get to a point where you just feel really good and empowered around your money, and you feel okay charging people and things don't derail you. You know, before I had this tool set and before I had the community that, you know, I've created, sabotages would last for weeks, for months, or sabotages would stop me from launching things at all. And now with the tool set, you can see the people in the boot camp, they'll go, oh, it's happened again. Now it doesn't as much as it used to. It kind of, you can deal with it and move on. So yeah, if you're in that kind of, ooh, and that doesn't matter what income level you're at, that can happen to people at all income levels. Okay. Yes, Laurie, the launch webinar will be recorded. You do not have to go live. That's totally fine. All the resources are there, and actually people might think, oh, there's so many bonuses and things that are included, and it can feel a bit overwhelming at the start if you think I have to do everything. It's like, no, you don't. It's there for you for lifetime access of the course. You know, not like when we're 80. Who knows? We could still be talking about this stuff when I'm 80. Like, work on your money blocks, people. Post as a question, but I want you to know this bit of magic. It must be finally time for me to do this because my son just called me and he said he had a gift. Okay, thank you. It must be really late there. I'm so appreciative that you stayed up for it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, Nina says, do you have a coach in 2011 to help you get over your money mindset, or do you do it alone? Yeah, I worked with Kendall Summerhawk. You know, so some of my work is definitely influenced by the work that I did with her, because I did some of her certification programs as well to teach money stuff. And I read a lot of books, but to be honest, I really went in deep to my background, and my philosophy is throw everything at it. So I tried everything, and that's how I teach stuff now. I say, here are all the different tools you can use. Find the one that resonates with you right now. Path of least resistance. Amanda said, I love the synchronicity. The call came at perfect time. I love it. Yeah, ethical bribe. Oh, Jen just signed up. Yay. By the way, Denise, you helped manifest my now husband. I changed his name in my phone to my loving husband, and it worked. Yes. I can send you, I'll give my boot campers as well. If you need another ethical bribe, I can give you Get Hitched, Lucky Bitch. Just for fun. Okay, Millie said, time to reread your books and then take the first step to boot camp. Why is my stomach churning at the thought? Yeah, I get it. It's scary. It's scary sometimes to invest in yourself. It's scary for the unknown. You feel like you might make a mistake. We do have a 60-day money back guarantee if that really helps people to pull the trigger. Plus, we do have a payment plan. So if that helps as well. And to be honest, we do issue funds for people who just joined. Like, no one's ever said, oh, I hate you, Denise, you suck. Some people just go, you know what? It wasn't for me. And I go, totally fine. With love, take your money back. It's no problem. The thing that sucks, I have had people who bought it refunded on the same day and then kind of copied my program, which kind of sucks. But, you know, there's nothing, you know, if you're scared but you join and you just go, oh, wrong decision, just ask for a refund. You don't have to ask me personally. You just email my assistant. She sorts it out for you. So, you know, that's 60 days you can have to be in there and see if it's for you. And the thing that I love and trust about the Lucky Bee community is I've never, you know, I've had maybe 1 or 2 people abuse that. But everyone else, it's like, you know in yourself if it's something that you need to do for your own self and your own money mindset and your own business. You know that if you need to take it to the next level, this is something that I think is a worthwhile investment. You know, I think it's very affordable for the transformation that it creates for people. So Petra, it's 1:20 a.m. Time to go to bed, girlfriend. Jojo said, I'll still be a lucky bitch when I'm 80. I'll be rocking the wigs at that age. Absolutely. Anna said, just following up on some overdue invoices. Bring on the income. Bring it in. Deb said, all right, girl, I'm so in. Yes, I'm glad I convinced you. Signing up now. Been checking out your community for a couple of years. See you on the inside. So that's awesome. So, you know, guys, all the people who are just joining, my assistant will start to let you all access. If you do have a different name to what you signed up to your Facebook name, just let us know, because we're really strict. We check everybody who applies for that that group to make sure that they're actually money boot campers. You know, we keep it really safe because we get random sexy guys and random sexy girls trying, like spammers obviously, who are always trying to apply to join it, and it's like, no. So if your profile picture is really sexy as well, we're like, oh, is that a spammer? So sorry to discriminate against sexy people, but we just get so many spammers try and join the group. Carol, do you talk about a fear of becoming cold-hearted as you become more successful? Yeah, that's something we can help you with, because everyone's got their own story. You know, we think that people will think we're a bitch, or that we'll lose love, or we'll be unsafe. You know, we've all got our own flavor, and the whole point of the boot camp is to just go uncover your particular flavor, the thing that's going to derail you. Okay. So Laurie said, you always make me cry when I listen to you. Haha. I'm not sure why. Maybe you'll figure it out in boot camp. I'm sorry to make you cry. I'm just a normal person. You're just a normal person. And I think it's really powerful when you show up and be authentic. That's what your tribe is waiting for. That's what they want to. That's what they want to hear. They just want to see you go, you can do it. You can do it. I'm just like you, and you can do it as well. So I'm glad to make you cry, because I think it does. If it does trigger something, I think that's good. Okay, so a couple more minutes. Petra said, I'm writing you in your Facebook group now. Thank you. Prita, thanks for staying awake till 2:30. Nicola, I'm sending invoices while I listened. Okay, cool. So let's wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much. I've really appreciated spending the time with you today. I hope you've got some shifts that will help you to create more passive income. Remember, it's really just about that internal stuff. Give yourself permission to receive money in return for the good that you put out in the world. Tell yourself, I serve, I deserve. It's safe for me to make money. It's safe for me to help people. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. And then the last thing I want you to do today, into the bathroom, go into your bedroom, stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, this is what a rich woman looks like. Because there aren't any rules anymore. You are just as deserving of your income as anyone else. You are deserving of creating a first-class life like anyone else. You are deserving of being a rich woman, whatever that means to you. You have the capacity to forge new paths for yourself and your family, and to create ripple effects throughout your community. So you deserve to make passive income. You are enough. That's my final message for you. So Thanks everybody for joining. Janice, put that out to the community and see what options that people could come up with for you. How to arrange flowers at home. There are people who could be, and then again, it's like, well, you want me to do it for you? Okay, I'm really glad everyone's inspired to go out and create that passive income. If you do have any other questions, make sure you email my team about them. Yeah, see, people are sharing you already. All you need to do is ask the Lucky Bee community, and there's always somebody who is willing to help. So you are what a rich woman looks like. You are what a wealthy woman looks like. You are amazing. You are enough. I'll see you in the boot camp, guys. And have a lucky day. See ya.
Hey there! Are you ready to release your money blocks and finally make the income that you deserve? Well, I'm really glad that you're here because it's time for us to have a really honest conversation around money and success. So let me start by asking you a question. Do you ever find yourself undercharging but yet still over-delivering to your clients? Maybe you're giving away your time for free and you're feeling really resentful about it. Or maybe you're feeling broke no matter how much you earn. Well, you know what? You're not alone. In fact, most female entrepreneurs are seriously undercharging compared to their true potential. And if that's you, it's time to do something about it. The wage gap in the entrepreneurial world is real, just like in the corporate one, but not for all women. Some of us have discovered how to truly love receiving money, and we want you to join us. The Lucky Bitch network of women spans the globe, and together we're changing the conversation around women and money. And I've got a lot of success stories to share with you today, so make sure you stick around to get inspired because it's real women just like you who are working towards a life of freedom, adventure, and abundance. So we're going to come back to them in a moment, but first I want to talk about you. So unfortunately, here's the bad news. You can have an amazing product or service. You can have a beautiful website and you can have raving fans and really, really great testimonials, but still awkwardly not make enough money. And that really, really sucks because you're working hard, right? And you're investing in marketing courses and you're slogging your guts out, pulling all-nighters, and the results are just not where they should be in your actual bank account. Now, you might even think that you don't even have money blocks. And you know what? This is the most dangerous situation of all because they will derail your success. The thing that nobody tells you is that women can sometimes face massive resistance when it comes to earning money. You know what? Being in business is the best personal development, but nobody talks about this fact that it actually can be really hard sometimes, especially when you have to deal with money. It can bring up all of your worst insecurities about yourself, and it can trigger fears that you thought were long gone. But don't worry, you're not alone in this, right? Money blocks are incredibly common, even amongst the most successful entrepreneurs. And trust me, I'm yet to find anyone who is completely immune from money blocks, which is kind of reassuring, right? That you're completely normal. But have you ever shied away from having a really awkward pricing conversation with a client? Or maybe you thought that someone was going to think you're a bitch if you said no to letting them pick your brain for free. Money blocks are why you procrastinate instead of answering those emails from potential clients, or you shy away from putting yourself forward for new business. Have you ever had a really big successful month and then you worried that it was a fluke? And you know it's a sabotage, but sometimes you can't help it. And it's really weird, but trust me, we all do it. Now, you might even feel like you're on the verge of massive success right now, but you don't know what's holding you back. Maybe you're feeling sick and tired of seeing other women rock their businesses. So maybe they look like they're making money effortlessly, and maybe they're charging higher prices for basically the same thing that you do. And it sounds kind of bitchy, but some of them aren't as good as you and they're charging more. You know you're just as good as them, but there's something that's holding you back. Do you ever wonder why it's so easy for some women and not for others? You know, I've been there myself. I felt sick with jealousy, but honestly, I didn't believe that I deserved it myself. But now the money flows really easily in my business and I can charge what I'm worth. But the only difference between where you are right now and where you want to be are just your current beliefs around money and the influence of the people around you. So imagine how different your business would look like if you were no longer ruled by those money blocks, if you did have supportive community around you. What would life be like if you charged what you were worth? If you were surrounded by a prosperity mindset instead of a poverty mindset? Here's the thing, money has got nothing to do with talent or ambition, and it's definitely got nothing to do with luck. So seriously, don't beat yourself up that you can't handle this on your own. It's really not your fault. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or you're not good enough to be in business. And in fact, it's often the most talented and giving women who experience money blocks. And it's not just beginners either. Money blocks happen to women at all levels of success, from zero income to multiple millions. And most women hit their money blocks just before a massive breakthrough, which is great news for you. Congratulations on having money blocks, because you can turn this into a massive breakthrough if you want to. Having money blocks does not mean that you're not meant to be successful, because everyone has them. It's just that some people have got the tools to deal with it. So you're completely normal and you're totally in the right place. Now, you're probably no stranger to personal development, but I'm sure you are always looking for the next level of success and more tools to learn. And it doesn't matter how much you know about business and marketing. When you've got money blocks, it's always going to be much harder than it needs to be. But what if it were easy? And what if it were fun to deal with your money? Now I'm going to say something slightly controversial here. Many women have totally crap excuses about why they're not earning good money. And you might have said them yourself. Things like, I don't care about money, I just want to help people. And honestly, be honest with yourself. Have you ever said something like that? Because think about the mixed messages. Now, what about, I don't care about money, I just want to be happy? Again, mixed messages, right? Making money and being happy are not mutually exclusive, and they don't have to be. So when women say things like, my family are more important than money, I'm like, of course they are. Of course they're more important, but you don't have to choose. In fact, the more people you help, the more money you can make, and vice versa, because money is just a tool for you to create your ideal life. And female entrepreneurs who earn great money can change the world. And that's exactly why I created the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp. And thousands of women around the world are now using the principles taught in the bootcamp to completely change their life. And you can too.
The Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp was an absolute game changer for my business. I went from still working full-time in the corporate world to doing the Money Bootcamp and finally being able to see how I could turn my business idea into a six-figure earning enterprise.
It's allowed me to really realise that anything is possible, anything, and that has been completely life-changing. It's not just about money. Everything has improved for me. I feel like I've up-leveled and upgraded in all aspects of my life, my business, my relationships, and it feels incredible. I could get quite emotional talking about it because Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, quite simply, has completely changed my life for the better.
If you're thinking about joining the Lucky Bitch Bootcamp, I highly recommend it. The support group is amazing. It's bar none. The women in there are from all over the world, and there's always somebody in there to cheer you on, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, and of course the boot camp is, the work itself is transformative. So I hope you'll come be a lucky bitch with the rest of us. It's fun being a lucky bitch. Bye.
So, what's the magic formula for making more money? Well, first, it's an honest look at the root causes of your money blocks. The second thing is to be surrounded by other like-minded and supportive women. 3 is to take practical and clear actions to move you forward. 4, giving yourself permission to be rich. And honestly, this is the most crucial one, and it's where most women are holding themselves back because they think they want more money, but something is stopping them from reaching their full potential. So that's the formula. And can you see how maybe you might have been sabotaging yourself? Maybe you don't have the right tools to get past those sabotages. And that is not your fault. This is new territory for all of us. So I started teaching these principles just to my coaching clients, then to small groups of women, but now I teach thousands of women online and at live events who are now loving the Lucky Bitch lifestyle. We are a global community of women changing the way we feel about money and in the process creating amazing first-class lives for ourselves and our families. We want you to join us and to become a Lucky Bitch too. In the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, you have access to everything you need to change your money story once and for all. You'll learn tools and techniques that you can use to clear your money blocks starting today, and you get access to a community mastermind that's one of the most inspiring and supportive places you'll find on the web. Enrollments are open now, and you can join right now for instant access to start working on your money blocks today. Can I share my money journey with you for a second? Because like a lot of women, I didn't grow up learning about money. And there were times in my childhood where we didn't have a lot of money. But to be honest, I actually didn't even really think about it until I started to run my own business. I went to a million motivational seminars and I read lots of books about money, but honestly, I was always broke. And I knew I was destined to be wealthy, but I was like, when is this going to happen? It was frustrating and embarrassing, especially when I started my coaching business. I was super embarrassed that my clients were going to see my crappy car or my small apartment and judge me because I wasn't living a first-class life. And even though I was great at helping clients achieve their business goals, I really struggled to charge them properly because I felt guilty. I felt like I should help everybody who needed me, and I got totally burnt out. And you know what? It's not about manifesting because I was great at manifesting. I manifested scholarships and prizes and I won bingo. But when it came to actual money, it felt out of my reach and scary. So is this making sense? Are you someone who's a great manifester, but you're still kind of broke? Well, that's really, really common. And you know what? I felt really guilty all the time for not contributing to our household income. And my hubby would ask me, why am I buying another course? Why am I doing coaching sessions if I'm not making any money? And have you ever bought something and then you kind of you hid it under the bed or you felt guilty, and it really sucks to live like that. This community is absolute proof that when you work on your money mindset, you can turn all of those things around and you can start making money doing something that you love. So are you ready to make a radical transformation of your money mindset? Because it's your time. I am just an ordinary girl with big dreams just like you, and I want you to know there's absolutely nothing special about me or the other members of the Lucky Bitch community. We're not smarter than we were before. We didn't necessarily learn any business tactics, but we gave up the idea that we had to be perfect before we were allowed to be rich. When you throw everything at overcoming your money blocks, things will become a lot easier in business. I want you to know that I am a real person. I still have the same insecurities and worries about not being enough. But I have given myself permission to be wealthy now, not someday in the future. And that's my invitation for you. Because my zone of genius is helping women like you to love yourself enough to make the money and to live the lifestyle that you really want to live.
I love that the Facebook group is there forever. So I've got so many plans for next year, and I have all these beautiful people surround me, and I know with the boot camp that I will get there with all the tips and tools.
It's so beyond whatever you could pay for this course. It's just absolutely fantastic, and if you do the work and you listen through and you follow through with this course, it will change your life.
Are you ready to give yourself permission to live a first-class life? Because it has to come from you and it is your time. How to use things like the law of attraction to manifest more abundance in your life, but in a very practical and real way. Because you know what? being good at manifesting isn't enough. Being good at marketing isn't enough. And you can read all the money books. Seriously, go and read all of them if you want. But you can say affirmations and you can make the biggest dream board in the world. And you can try and break through your money blocks alone just on sheer willpower. But I'm telling you now, unless you address the root causes, unless you have the tools, it's always going to feel hard and you will sabotage yourself. Let me explain why. A few years ago, I learned about manifesting and I became the manifesting queen. And in the space of 6 months, I went crazy. I manifested a huge bank error in my favor just before my university tuition was due. I won a scholarship to a life coaching course. And then I won a competition to travel the world for 6 months, all expenses paid. Seriously, it was awesome, but guess what? I was still broke, and it was really embarrassing being a smart, capable, and educated woman, but not being able to earn proper money. And it sucks. And if that's where you're at, you're totally in the right place right now. Because I made a big decision that I was going to be friends with money, and everything changed. And once you make the decision to work on your money mindset, things will start to flow. But you just have to ask yourself now, are you ready for change? Are you ready for things to be different?
I recommend it to anyone who wants to change their mindset about money, make more money, and feel abundant, feel rich, feel amazing.
And more importantly, I've really learned that I deserve to make money, to have great relationships, upgrades, and really live a first-class life.
The one thing which really stood out for me, what I got out of this bootcamp, was to stop worrying about money. I used to worry about money all the time, and it completely took over, my thoughts, my day-to-day life.
I want to share something really, really important with you. Perfection isn't the goal. You do not have to be perfect to deserve the money. You actually don't need to change anything about yourself to be worthy of abundance. You just need tools to deal with your sabotages and your money blocks. But if you mastered this, your money mindset, where do you think you would be in 5 years' time, or even 1 year? You already have everything that you need inside you, but the universe is just waiting for you to activate it and to start giving you the things you need to create your first-class life. That's why I created the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, for women like you who are ready for something new. Can you imagine earning 1,000, 10,000, or even 100,000 in a day? Because the thing is, it's all the same to the universe, and the only difference is your ability to receive. But how does that feel in your body? Is it exciting? Is it scary? And have you ever actually asked yourself what's holding you back from the next level of income? If you're ready for action, just go ahead and sign up for the bootcamp. Don't wait if that's what you came here for. Otherwise, let me tell you a little bit about it. The Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, it's a completely unique money course. It's really designed to help you break old patterns and old stories and to help you form new ones that make you confident about your ability to earn big money. Now, it's a completely virtual program, meaning that you can live anywhere in the world. We've got women from everywhere. Plus, it comes with a really active community of women all around the world for live masterminding and support. It's designed to change the way you see about your money forever. Now, how do you know if you actually have money blocks and you need to work on your money mindset? Well, if any of these reasons are true for you, then you're absolutely going to love doing the boot camp. So reason 1, you know that it's your time, finally, but your income is not matching up to your intelligence, the potential, and the gifts that you offer up into the world. Maybe you want to be a millionaire or you have really big money goals, but you know there are some blockages for you to get to the next level. Maybe you've hit an income plateau and you've been there for a while. So if that's you, you should definitely join the Money Boot Camp. Now, reason number 2, you love personal development, but the money hasn't shown up yet. So maybe you feel like a bit of a fraud when you talk to people about transformation or changing their life because you know that you need to sort out your own money stuff. And if that's you and you've read every abundance book under the sun, but there's just a little missing puzzle piece and you don't have the tools to deal with it yet. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that you have sabotaging money behaviors, but you don't know what to do about it. The tools are not working. So if that's you, you should totally join the Money Bootcamp today.
Limiting beliefs that I had, such as I had to work myself into the ground to be successful, that other one could be successful but not me, that it was all going to be too hard, simply fell away.
And what I really love about it is it doesn't matter how busy I am with the kids or with the business, I can still fit all of the information and the steps from the bootcamp in my everyday life.
There is just so many different quotes and so many different things I've learned that I have integrated into my daily life. I use them all the time.
Reason number 3, you're just simply not earning what you're worth and you suspect that you might be worth a lot. So maybe you're feeling really overwhelmed and depleted when you think about your clients or money, especially if you think about raising your prices. That's a tricky one, right? And if you've been stuck at the same income level for a while, or maybe even worse, you're going backwards, or maybe you feel like you just don't have enough money to spend on yourself, or you feel incredibly guilty when you do. So if that's you, you should totally join the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp today. Don't wait. Now, reason number 4 is that you want to live a first-class life, but you're actually stuck in economy class. And I've been there, I've been stuck in economy, and it sucks, metaphorically, in economy. So if you're compromising where you live, how you dress, or how you travel, you need to do something about it, especially when you see other women increasing their lifestyle or their income, and you're kind of jealous that you're not doing the same. Well, you need to join the bootcamp as well. So number 5 is you absolutely know you need a money mindset makeover, and maybe you've checked out the bootcamp before and you're kind of kicking yourself that you haven't done it. Maybe you've got a real feast or famine relationship to money and you just know that there's something out there. Maybe you already can manifest money, but it kind of comes at great personal stress or burnout and you don't know how to do it in a consistent way. Well, guess what? You totally should join the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp today. Reason number 6, you actually feel like you repel money right now. So maybe you start to sweat when you talk to an accountant or anyone official about money. Maybe you're too scared to even have an accountant. Maybe you're even putting wealthy people on a pedestal and getting lots of anger and resentment about it, and you think that it's out of reach for you. How much money do you think you've left on the table because of those money blocks and those feelings that you have around money? You should totally join the Money Bootcamp, by the way. And last reason number 7, you're ready to take action even if you feel a little bit scared. That's totally normal as well. Maybe you're scared by your own potential because your vision for your life is huge. Maybe you're scared about joining something like bootcamp because you worry about what it would actually mean to be truly wealthy and you don't want to turn it into a negative experience or sabotage it in any way. So does this make sense? Do you recognize yourself in here? And can you actually see how complex this money block stuff is? If you're truly destined for something else and you've got blocks, it is complex. But I believe in you. And are you ready to believe in yourself?
The biggest block was just believing that my ideas would come into fruition. And since I started this program just a few months ago, everything has really taken a flow. So I'm really happy that I made the investment.
It really does change so many things. It's not just about money. It's about upgrading your whole life and the way you treat yourself.
But the bootcamp has made me change my mindset and realize what I'm truly capable of.
Join the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp today and stop being a fence sitter. Don't tell me you're going to join one day. Your dreams are way too important to procrastinate, and there are money opportunities that you are missing right now because you don't have the tools. Most money books and courses actually don't understand the way that women think. They don't understand our fears and insecurities around money, and they don't have the community as well. And that's why your husband, boyfriend, partner, business coach, or friends usually can't help you, because they literally don't understand why some people sabotage their income, or they don't understand your goals. They just think, well, why don't you just go out there and make money? Like, what's holding you back? So, and by the way, when you see women who are absolutely killing it online, especially in the online world, chances are they are bootcamp members. And I'm not saying that to brag at all, because I'm not taking any credit for their talent. I just gave them permission to earn great money from their talent. So make sure you check out the testimonials and you will see some familiar faces, which is great news because it means you're exactly where you need to be and absolutely in great company. So what results can you expect when you join the bootcamp today? Well, here's the thing, what you earn is actually totally up to you. I do not tell you what business model you should do. I just help you to release your money blocks so you can profit from your natural talents and what you already do. Everybody in the bootcamp has different businesses, talents, and income goals. And we actually have women at all levels of business, from beginners to money masters. The key is that we're all working on very, very similar money blocks. Many women like you have doubled or tripled their income just by reducing the amount of free work or discounts they were giving in their business, let alone increasing their prices or their money mindset. Now that doesn't sound hard, but the thing is, a lot of the women just got better with their money boundaries, and that can be really tricky. That's why you need the community. And some of them have got better at the art of premium pricing and learnt to charge top dollar in your industries, which is one of the topics that we talk about in the bootcamp. And you know what? It's not magic. We don't talk about magic. It's all very practical. And unfortunately, that's the skill that we do not learn in school. Now is your time to step into your full power as a businesswoman.
I have tripled my income. Also manifested countless things, including becoming a TEDx speaker, something I never would have imagined before.
Did Lucky Bitch double my income? No. Triple it? Not even close. How about 15 times my normal average income?
I've also managed to create a life that supports what's really important to me right now, and that's my son, who's 8 months old, and having a business that's flexible around us.
And here's what you can expect when you join the Money Bootcamp. You're going to allow yourself to have a truly first-class life. You'll get comfortable actually holding on to more money in your life and your business without sabotaging yourself through unhealthy spending or unconsciously manifesting things like debt, drama, or bills, which you might have done in the past. You'll give yourself permission to earn more. You're going to feel safe and comfortable, maybe earning more than your friends, family, partner, mentor, etc., which is really tricky stuff without the tools. And most importantly, you're not going to hold yourself back from your earning potential anymore. You're going to find the courage to increase your prices, and you're going to uncover hidden treasure and money that is already around you. And honestly, you're going to be shocked about how abundant you already are. Trust me. Together, we're going to create a new money legacy for you, completely free from your family's story around money. Many of us boot campers have children, and you're also going to learn how to change your language so they can grow up with a different view on money, which is hugely important if you're a parent. And how about getting your partner on board with your money goals? You're going to learn how to deal with drastically different money philosophies from your partner, family, or friends, even if they're negative, and you absolutely do need that support if you've got negativity around you. A lot of boot campers actually get their partners to completely change their views on money as well. So do you have a big money goal for this year? You know, have you already experienced resistance on it? Because you are going to break through to the next level of income and feel more confident in your business when you've got the tool set to deal with it. When you work on your money mindset, there are a lot of unexpected perks. For example, you might have the courage to then only work with first-class customers, and you'll stop chasing money from the pain in the butt clients because you feel like you have to. You'll also learn to identify and stop unexpected money leaks in your business so you can feel good about both spending and keeping more money. Plus, you'll learn how to manifest money quickly when you need it, but without going into panic or overdrive or pulling those all-nighters that we all hate. You are going to truly learn to love and receive money, and to stop that roller coaster of feast or famine with your money, and you're going to enjoy watching your income increase. You are going to feel more free and powerful and ready to break through to that next income goal. So do you want ongoing support? Here's the beauty of the course. Every time you repeat it and you have lifetime access, you are going to increase your income and you can access the tools for as long as you need it. Each week, we welcome lots of new Lucky Bees, so you're absolutely going to be in great company. So go ahead and click the Join Now button below. Within just a few minutes, you're going to receive your invitation to join our exclusive community and you can start your first lesson. So your money mindset upgrade starts today.
I love the Lucky Bitch Bootcamp because I get to keep coming back to it over and over. So every time I hit a new block, I get to come back and learn even more and dig another level deeper.
I really didn't know what to expect, but it's truly been life-changing to be with other women who support you in wanting to make more money and find more money.
That the Facebook group and the community of women that come together to learn and work through their stuff together is invaluable.
Here's what you'll receive in the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp when you join today. The course is delivered via highly motivating video lessons that you can access at your own pace. And the members only group is where you'll be able to get your support, get your questions answered, and share your ahas as you go through each lesson. Plus, there are so many bonuses. You'll receive more than 6 hours of recorded Q&A sessions where I've answered all of your burning questions about money. Now, here is the best part, and I'm so excited to share this with you. How would you like to meet women who share your goals and dreams about money? The Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp community is honestly the best and most motivating place on the web. You can share your successes, confess your money freakouts, and ask questions. The women there are amazing. And because of our global audience, there is always somebody in there day or night to give you a virtual hug. You are seriously going to meet some of your best friends in that group. It is like having a 24/7 cheerleading team of women who have your back and they will support your dreams. And guess what? I'm in there as well. Yay! I'll see you in there almost every day. But can you imagine what that kind of support will do to your life? Because I've heard from a lot of women that it's actually really hard to change their beliefs around money when people around them haven't changed or done any personal development work on their money at all. So it's more important than ever that you have a great support network around you, because the better your network, the quicker your beliefs will shift. And without that, it's going to feel really hard. In the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, you are going to make new friends around the world who are going to inspire you to the next level in your life. You can even organize your own real world meetups, and we are growing every single day.
And what I really found about Denise and what I really loved most is that she taught me to aim a bit higher, to achieve a bit more, and that I could have the life I dreamed of.
Every time I read her work, I just think this woman knows exactly what she's talking about. She's got it going on.
Having Denise there to support us every single day with different exercises so that manifesting is something that's a daily part of our lives and not just something I learned in a course and forget about.
It's been a daily inspiration and I'm a little bit addicted actually.
And sometimes I ask myself, what would Denise Duffield-Thomas do? And in no time, I usually get the answer because she's taught me everything I need to know about being a lucky bitch.
Denise, thank you so very much for everything that you have done and are still doing. You are my total inspiration. Thank you so much.
Now, I've actually got some really cool bonuses for you, not just with the bootcamp, but when you join today, you're also going to receive a library of every single one of my other products and programs. This includes meditations, audiobooks, live event recordings, advanced pricing workshops, and my Lucky Bitch manifesting course. These are all yours totally free when you join us today. Now, you might be wondering if the bootcamp will work for your particular profession. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter what you do, but the bootcamp works best for women who have a big dream for their life. We have speakers, coaches, authors, tarot readers, graphic designers, stay-at-home mumpreneurs, therapists, writers, pet minders, raw food chefs, and just about every profession that you can think of. So are you ready to join us? Come and join us. So if you've been listening for a while now and you might be a bit nervous, maybe you're feeling a little bit excited as well, that's kind of cool. But sometimes that tingle in your belly is just a sign from the universe telling you to go for it. It's telling you to do something different. So you can join right now on this page, and within minutes you could start shifting your money mindset. But maybe you're not quite sure if the bootcamp is for you. Now, don't worry. If you've done the work, you've joined the boot camp and you're not satisfied, it's not for you, I actually offer a no questions asked money back guarantee within the first 60 days. Plus, we also offer a payment plan if you need to spread out your investment. So honestly, you've got nothing to lose except for your money blocks. You don't need them anyway. So gorgeous, it's time to make an investment in yourself and your business for the future. You are totally worth it. Join us today and take advantage of all the extra goodies and bonus courses. And make this the month where you change your mindset forever. Don't let your money sabotagers delay your dream life. It's your time to transform your mindset and let money love you. It's your time and you're ready for the next step.
And it's one of the few training programs that I actually dip into time and time again, because the strategies apply not just in business but across life and everywhere. So it's amazing, and I highly recommend it, and I do tell all my friends about it.
If you've got a gift and you want to make a difference out there in the world, how can you possibly make a worldwide difference if you've got a block about receiving money? That's what happened to me, and now I'm through it, the wall's gone.
If you're doing spiritual work in the world, you can't really be asking for a lot of money because it's not, you're in service. And oh my God, thank goodness, that in and of itself, that mindset shifting, that money block breaking, I know now that I can be a lucky spiritual bitch doing my work in the world.
Friendships and all these lovely ladies together in this group, I tell you,